In the stillness of this moment, the divine presence of Spirit is here. It is that everlasting place where life exists. The life of all. My life, the life of this center, and the power of what comes forward in the abundance of giving life, being life, knowing life. This time is blessed. It is ours, and we are one. And so it is.
So it is. Oh, that was so good. Thank you. We need a chair for our wonderful singer up here, so you know. Standing there patiently. Good morning, everyone. What a joy it is to come together again to remember the power in the universe that is available to each one of us. In fact, is the very essence of each one of us. I'm so happy you're here today. I want to say hi to everybody online. So we're going to wave to them again, and I've asked Adam to turn the camera on so they can see us. You know, kind of slowly so I don't get dizzy. So, good morning. Thank you so much. Isn't that fun? Yep. So we are a welcoming and all-inclusive center of love. We know that there's a power for good in the universe. We are using it all the time, whether we're aware of it or not. No matter what's going on, what we really believe, what we really think, actually transforms the world and our life. And so we're here to remember, first of all, that we're divine, and to begin to really open our hearts and minds and see that everywhere we look. There's a song, "Everything is Holy Now." And sometimes I just like to think of that and feel the sacredness of every space and every person I'm in contact with. And so we're here today to just awaken to that. And we're going to start by singing our community song. If you could stand with me and join us in "Stayed on Spirit," one of my favorites. Woohoo!
This morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
beloved Pat Clark, president of our board, and also a phenomenal. She just fills me up. So our beloved Joanna is not available today, and she's somewhere far away, so not too far away. But we're glad to have Pat with us, and we so deeply appreciate you and your gift, your talent, your voice. So you know what time it is in our service today. We don't have programs, I'm sorry, but this is the time when we usually take a moment of gratitude. And today, this whole month actually, the theme is money. I like that. We're going to talk about money today. And so it's about really abundance in all ways. And so I have a little gift on your chair. Hope you found it. Everybody have one of these? If you don't, I'll give you mine. So instead of doing a moment of gratitude, we're going to actually, I'm going to invite you, I am inviting you to join me in this top affirmation, which is actually written by Ernest Holmes. It rings well in my soul. So ready? I keep the promise that I have made myself to affirm in this moment that I am happy, healthy, strong, and happy. I keep the intention to daily speak this truth to my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into songs of joy with the realization of its limitless possibilities. I assure my soul. So just breathe into that, assuring your soul that you are opening to and accepting an abundance in all areas of life. Feels so good. And so we take a moment to be grateful, just saying yes to that with a thankful heart. It's a wonderful thing, and so it is. Ooh, that was good. And now I'm going to invite our practitioner of the day, Janie Curry, to come up and share a reading with us.
Our reading today comes from this beautiful book, Living the Science of Mind, written by our founder, Ernest Holmes. And it's on the very last page. I know there is a power for good that is responding to me and keeping my experience everything that is necessary to my unfoldment, to my happiness, to my peace, to my health, and to my success. I know there is a power for good that enables me to help others and to bless the whole world. So I say quietly to myself, there is one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. It is flowing through me, circulating in me. I am one with its rhythm. My heart beats with the pulsation of the universe, in serenity, in peace, and in joy. My whole physical being is animated by the divine spirit, and if there is anything in it that does not belong, it is cast out, because there is one perfect life in me now.
Thank you, Janie Curry.
Yeah.
Thank you for a wonderful evocation, and thank you for a great reading. Thank you so much. And now we have some more fabulous music from our beloved Pat Clark. The Impossible Dream.
To run with a brave dare not to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I always be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I lay to my rest, and the world will be better for this, that someone torn and covered with scars, still strong, that last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star.
Whew, my heart's full. How about yours? Thank you so much. Wow. So, since we're talking about money today, I thought I'd tell you a little bit of a story about Marco and Sue. Marco and Sue were childhood sweethearts. They got married, had a family, and now they were celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary. And so they decided to take a walk to the school, their school, where they went to school together. Walked down there, and they were reminiscing about how he'd carved their names in one of the wooden desks, and just having a nice old time. And when they're walking back home, this armored car goes driving by, and a bag falls out of it. So, wow, they thought they should be responsible, so they picked it up and took it home. Sue unzipped it. It was full of money, of course. She started counting it. There was $50,000 in the bag, and Marco said, "We've got to give it back." And she said, "No, we don't. Finders keepers." So the next day, there's a knock at the door. 2 policemen are coming through the neighborhood checking with people, and they asked, "Did you happen to notice a bag that might have fallen out of an armored car yesterday?" And Marco says, "Yes." And Sue says, "No." And Marco says, "She's lying. She hid it in the attic. I saw her." So she says, "Don't pay attention to him. He's senile. His memory's gone." Also, the police decided they should check this out with Marco, so they sent him down and said, "Okay, Marco, why don't you just start at the beginning and tell us what happened?" He said, "Well, Sue and I were walking home from school." One cop turns to the other and says, "We're out of here." So that's not the way to get your money, guys. You already knew that. So I think the first thing I want to focus on is just checking in to see how you feel about money. When I say money, do you feel wonderful, love it, it's divine, it's spiritual, it's life itself flowing? How about wealth, the word wealth? Oh, good, I love some of that. That's mine. I'm wealthy in all ways, right? How about myself? I deserve it. I'm worthy. I'm rich. How about the divine, God, the presence, the universal mind, power? How do you feel about that? Do you realize that it's right there, available to you to create whatever you want in your life, including money and including abundance? And remember, it's not just about money. What is money? Money is actually an effect. It's not a cause. And sometimes we think we need to work in the world of effects to get more of it. But today we're going to talk about working in the world of cause. So how do we create richness in our life? And I'm talking about money, but also, a life that is rich includes way more than money. Certainly you want all your needs to be met, and you want to have plenty to generously give the things that are meaningful to you, right? So that flow, it's about being in that flow. There is nothing evil or materialistic about money. We need to just clear that up in case it's hanging out there, which I doubt it is here, but you never know. There's stuff that sometimes gets imprinted on us when we're young, right? Or even when we're older, I don't know. So, this week, they announced the Nobel Prize for Physics. And what a thrill, because I love quantum physics. I love all the things that science is discovering that help us understand the complexity and amazing way the universe works. So these three guys, and you know, they're from different places. One's from the US, one's from France, and I think one's from Austria. They were working on different projects, but they all moved this idea of entanglement forward. And entanglement is when two elements, usually protons, have been connected and they separate them. No matter how far away this one is, if something happens here, it's reflected there. So actually information can be passed from here far vast distances, just because they were once related. One of them, I don't know if you want to know about this, but I'm fascinated. One of them discovered that you could take two entangled particles here, elements, I'll call them elements, and two that are entangled here, and split them. And then you take one from each, and if you create an entanglement for those two, now what's interesting is without these two, the other two that didn't entangle, they were entangled here, they can talk to each other too. And they never were connected. There's this relationship through the energy of the universe. And so we talk about the divine, something that's hard to understand, the wisdom that is present. You know, it's sometimes Ernest Holmes called it all these different things. Ernest Holmes is the founder of our philosophy, our teaching, our faith. And he would use words like mind with a capital M, understanding that my mind is part of the divine mind, because there's thinking going on and there's choosing going on. He also called it just universal energy, or the universe with a capital U. Called it law because it always works this way. So if I say law later, you'll know I'm talking about just that's the way it works. You know, that's the way it works. So in fact, I will talk about law. So first up, we recognize that our consciousness is the creative element in our lives. It's what we think that makes a difference in our experience of the outer world. And that's where things start. Our experience of prosperity comes from within. You know, we have this idea of the law of attraction. And here's the thing I just read about the law of attraction. When we think about the law of attraction, and that's been a big thing out there, we teach it even, the idea that we would have to have something out there that we're attracting to us, so it's out there separate from us. And a new way of looking at that might be the law of radiance. Instead of me having to attract something out there to me, instead I'm radiating something that just naturally creates abundance, naturally creates joy, naturally creates love, because that's its very nature, actually. You know, the mystics down through the ages had the same experience. When they had an experience that I would call it cosmic consciousness, divine presence in a powerful way, the things that they had in common when they expressed that, one was a sense of oneness with all, a deep, deep connection with all, and the other was love. Overwhelming, powerful love. So when we say God is love, that is what we're talking about. And I know some of you have had that experience of that, just feeling connected and loved. John Randolph Price wrote a little book called, what's it called? The Prosperity Book, the Abundance Book, the Abundance Book. I'm going to find my notes here anywhere. And in that he has a little 40-day prosperity plan. But he has some simple principles to create abundance in your life. And I'm going to be touching on some of those, and I'm changing it up a little bit just because I'm who I am. But he says in that book, the ancients taught, oh, I think I missed some of my beautiful things. Let's see. I have a PowerPoint that has, you know, the two sparkly things. Did you have that up there? You already saw that. See, she's listening. Oh my gosh, thank you, Melissa. Say hi to Melissa, everybody. She's our new person on tech. And thank you to Adam for broadcasting us. So yeah. So then, let's see. 1, 2. Okay. I'm going to go to 2, the second one, which is Ernest Holmes says, here and now, we are surrounded by and immersed in an infinite good. How much of this infinite good is ours? All of it. See? Powerful. All of it. And how much of it can we have to use? As much of it as we can embody. So that's our job. Our job is to feel right now as if all issues are solved, we're on the other side of any problem, and that we are supported and have all the money we could need, have all the love and rich, wonderful relationships, are doing the work we love and being creative in the world. It's like feeling like that's already true. I remember I told my minister once about a problem, and I don't even remember the problem now, but what he said to me is, our job as practitioners, I was a practitioner at the time, was to feel like we're already on the other side of it. Just move into that place if it's handled. That's really all we're talking about today. If it's a money thing, it's handled, without even knowing it. Okay, so back to my buddy. John Randolph Price says this, and this is the third slide. The ancients taught that to understand oneself is to understand God. How about that? Because know you not that ye are gods. It says that in the Old Testament. You are created in the image and likeness, and in fact, as the presence of the divine. Let's just live from that. And through the process of meditation, that one could release the divine energy within, transmute discord into harmony, ignorance into wisdom, fear into love, and lack into abundance. And that's what we're going to do today. Are you ready for that?
Yes.
It's good. You're right. Okay. So he has this, in his little book, he shares this experience of his own. He was having a particularly rough financial time. And so he decided to meditate. His first practice is meditation in this book. First, practice number 1, meditation. He said, I invite the Spirit of God to think through me. I'll try not to think, and I'll try not to stop thinking. Okay, is that good? Yeah. So how do we get still and let the voice of God, the divine wisdom, flow through us? Think through us. He said, I now let the Christ presence think about my financial affairs and the solution to this problem. And he just let go and was in that space of openness. And he heard this, this thought come into his mind, this, I want to call it a voice in his head. I don't know what it sounded like, but this is what he heard. Know that I am with you always. I am all you seek. Seek, therefore, me. I am the energy of creation. Gives me goosebumps. And he said, then he saw it as a light stream connecting him with all the souls of the earth. A light stream connecting him with all the souls of the earth. Just expand your mind and feel that. Whew. Let's see. He felt and saw the oneness of all. Felt waves of good flowing to all and flowing back to him. He says, I felt the waves engulf me and almost take my breath away. I felt more prosperous than I had felt in my entire life, just by meditating, tuning into that, something greater. And of course, his financial situation was quickly resolved. Of course. So the second point he makes in his book is controlled visualization. Don't we love to visualize? I hope you visualize goodness all the time. There was a time when I was married to my second husband. Remember, I'm on number 3 now, 34 years now. So my second husband and I were together for 7 years. I don't want you starting adding those up to figure out how old I am. Do not do that. But in a prior marriage, his first marriage, we'd both been married once to someone else. Before that, he had gone through a bankruptcy. wife was spending money and hiding the bills from him until it got overwhelming. So they had to go through bankruptcy. And so his credit score, now I'm married to him, wasn't very good. And here's the thing, he started to work up in Vista. We lived down in San Diego. Started working in Vista, California, and he was a produce manager for Albertsons, working in the grocery store. And so on the weekends, he was working weekends, always working weekends. So one weekend, I took the kids, I had 3 kids, and we decided to just drive up there. We need to find a place to move, because I was also going to be transferred to the Vista office of the place I worked. And we wanted to find a place to live up in that North County area. So we're driving around, and it's too early to look for rentals, so I started looking at open houses. And I walked into this one house that was 2 stories, and it just felt like home. Oh my gosh. Went upstairs, the master bedroom was large and it had a big picture window that had a great view. This was in San Marcos. And I just literally fell in love with this house. And I knew it would be impossible to buy, because my husband had a bankruptcy on his record, and it wasn't that old. Well, I don't know how old it was, but it wasn't 7 years, that's for sure. So here's what I did. I called my mom and I said, Mom, oh my gosh, I found this house, I love this house, but you know we can't buy it. We don't have a down payment, and Jim has this, problem, this financial problem. She says, Sharon, what I want you to do is start to imagine yourself living in that house. Being in I had described the whole thing to her. Being in that master bedroom, walking downstairs, having breakfast in the kitchen. I want you to start living in your mind in that house. And I did. I could see it. And I could have just given up and not tried anything, right? So I started talking to my husband, and we just went to see what was possible. Could we buy this house? Before my mother said that to me, I wouldn't have even entered the possibility of having it. And so, guess what? Of course, we bought the house. A miracle's happened. We sold the car. We had 2. We were both working in business, and now we just drove each other to work and all that. Sold the car for a down payment. He wrote a letter about why that bankruptcy would never happen again. We were given credit, and we bought that house. Wow. This stuff works. So where are those places, where are those edges that you would like to see something a little different? Are you willing to go there in your mind and live it and feel it and see it? That's our work on planet Earth. Because as we grow and create the life our heart desires, we empower others to do the same. We shine, they shine. So let's shine. Let's see, there's a few more things you want to do. The third one is my very favorite. It's intense love. John Randolph Price says, we must work with the energy of love and not the desire of fulfilling our needs. If I shut down my love vibration, the feeling of complete unconditional love for everyone, I'm putting a heavy restriction on my supply. Is there any place where you're withholding love? And it's so easy to think about the people we love and know, no, I love them, even if they did whatever, you're saying that to yourself, right? I still love them, yes, even though they screwed up. I want to hear some yeses now. It's about unconditional love, letting go of judgment, anger, frustration, all that, beaming peace and love, because something happens when we're in that place of love. That's the divine in us. That love is us showing up as the divine, yeah? So don't cut yourself off from your God by not loving. And here's the hard part for some, hopefully not for any of you. Do not deny yourself love in any situation. Love yourself. Accept yourself. Don't be judging yourself. Don't be thinking you're limited. Embrace your wholeness and the amazingness of who you are, because you are amazing. No matter what you've done in the past or what's going on in your life right now, you've got all you need. You're amazing, just the way you are. Yeah. Okay. Number 4, joyful Thanksgiving. We all know this one, right? Melody Beatty says, gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order. So just stopping to be grateful, if things seem chaotic, you're going to have a better sense of order. Isn't that cool? I like that. She says it changes confusion into clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast and a house into a home. A stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past. Looking back, being grateful. Whatever that path looks like, because you are today here, in spite of and because of that path you've taken. So gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and it creates a vision for tomorrow. So when we're grateful for what we have, the universe just keeps saying, yes, more of that, yes, more of that. And if you're saying, oh dang, oh dang, oh dang, the universe is going, yeah, more of that, and you'll have more dangs to do, right? That's really good English, right? So if you're not feeling joy, this is from John Randall Price. If you're not feeling joy, go back to step 3 and find someone or something to love. So we're on step 4 of gratitude, right? Now, here's the interesting thing. Step 5, I'm going to change it up a little. He says step 5 is verbal harmlessness, and I'll go ahead and throw that at you. But when I was doing this in my mind last night, because I give my talk when I'm in bed at night, to be sure it's there. When I got to step 5, I did not remember verbal harmlessness. I got generosity, and I like it better. So step 5 for me is being generous. Giving. If you want more love, give some love. You all know this, right? If you want more money, give some money. Honestly, dig deep in those pockets. Mary Mann Morrissey has a book. I don't even remember which one it is. But she talks about a time when she was traveling around the United States doing workshops and speaking, and she had hardly any cash at all. And she went to a church, and whatever she had, like, maybe it was $4 or something, she tithed 10% of that and put it in the plate when the plate came around, because she absolutely believed that you must give to receive. And in her story, in her book, things just turned around. Things just turned around. She's always lived that principle and teaches that principle, and she's a friend of mine. And I appreciate all that she does in the world, but whatever it is you want more of, peace, be the peace bringer. Be the one who is the calm and quiet and loving presence. You know people like that. In fact, you are one, right? You're the one. You're the one that no matter what's going on, you can bring you can get centered in the peace of God and just be really present for whatever's there, and it shifts everything, doesn't it? That's what we're here for. So, 6 is right action. You will be led to right action. This is John Randall Price. By maintaining order in your life. Okay, you ready for that? Order. I myself have a messy desk. And so when I read that, it's a little scary for me. One of my bosses had a beautiful wooden flat thing with a scroll, leather scroll on it that said, a messy desk is a sign of brilliance or something like that. And I always believe that. So he says bring order, okay. Bring order in a way that works for you, because I know where stuff is on my messy desk. I also served on a jury at the Vista Courthouse and went to the cafeteria, and my favorite sign was there, and I really wanted to put it in my house. At that time I had small children, and so my house was not in order. And it said, a tidy house is the sign of a lifetime misspent. And as a young mom, I deeply appreciate it. So I'm going to go with John, though, and you'll know if you need to make more order. There are places I need more order in my life. He says, maintain order in your life, beginning with your body, okay, your home, and your work. He also says part of maintaining order is to listen to and follow your inner voice. Are you good at that? You know, the time when I thought I should take an umbrella and it came into my mind and then it went out and I didn't, that's when it rained. You know that. And without procrastination, that's the tricky part. Anybody here like to procrastinate? Sometimes I feel like I'm empowered if I wait till the last minute, but I'm trying to get away from that. I actually had this talk done on Saturday morning. It's a miracle. So I think I was learning from my talk, to not procrastinate. Sometimes I'm staying up late on Saturday night, finishing touches on it. So it's just about doing the best we can in every situation. That's bringing order to your life, internally and outwardly. And he goes on to say, acting with grace, ease, poise, and serenity. Because, he doesn't say this, I'm saying this, we can do that because we know who we are. We are the light, we are the love, we are the presence of the divine, the one. Sure, that feels so good. So Ernest Holmes says, and here's my slide number 4, we cannot escape from the creative power of our thought, and there is no use in trying to do so. All we need to do is use the law from the right motive, and then we shall be made free. Ah, it feels so good. Let's be free. Just a few little tips here. I want to say that I gave you this handout, and the bottom part, this is for you to take home. John Waterhouse wrote an article in the Science of Mind magazine and talked about a time when they were struggling financially. And they decided that they would do a prayer and affirmation every day. Just begin a spiritual practice to affirm good in their lives. And so this bottom one is something that they read out loud. And here's what he says, is that on the 28th day, they won the California lottery. So you got some powerful stuff here. Okay, I think we should read this one together. So, and the place to put your name in is, you don't need to put your name in right now, but when you're doing it for yourself, he suggests you read it out loud and say your name. I, Sharon. But we're just going to say, I know, okay? Ready? I know that God is the source of all supply, and that money is God in action. I know that my good is here now. I am so rich and so full that I have an abundance of money to spare and share today and always. I know that true prosperity includes perfect health, perfect wealth, and perfect happiness. These words which I speak in faith now activate the universal law, and I accept the results. I bless all that I have now, and I bless the increase. And I know that I now prosper in every way. I give thanks for this good, and so it is. So even if you don't need money, try reading this out loud for 40 days, and I bet you will see a shift in just how you feel everywhere you go and everything you do. It's a wonderful thing. So I'm going to invite you to just turn within with me now, even though we just sort of prayed. And opening heart and mind to the power of the presence, the one life that is divine, that is my life now. And I know this is true for all. I speak a word, a powerful word, just knowing and accepting that the bounty of the universe is flowing through my life, through the lives of each person here. Whatever the heart desires is now being fulfilled. That there's a way now to stand in that presence always as the presence of love, the presence of peace, and that this brings me unbounded joy, that I am so filled with joy and light that I shine. I shine the truth unto the world. I light up all those in my life with my love, with my joy, with my expression, creative expression in the world. I take a moment to speak a word for all those in need of healing of anything, physical body, something in the mind or heart that needs to move back into a greater sense of truth and light and wholeness. Knowing that is already happening. That is manifesting now. I live it, I feel it, I see it, I breathe it. It feels so good. And I invite you to just take a moment to think of someone you would like to know good for. And sensing into love for that person, see them already where their heart desires to be. It's already handled. There's peace, there's wholeness, there's well-being. Feels so good.
And so it is.
And so I release His word, knowing the word spoken here is simply a revelation of what is true. And so it is. Praise God. And now we have some more amazing music. Yay.
Thank you, Reverend Sharon. That was so inspiring. So this song, I felt like this song needed a choir. Will you be my choir? So when we get to the verse, join in, please, and sing along, because this song really needs you involved. As I walked through the door, I sensed the presence, and I knew this was a place where love abounds. For in this moment, the divine abides here, and we are standing in the presence on holy ground.
our giving time. It's that opportunity to generously give from the abundance that is already yours. So I'm going to invite the ushers to come forward. While they're coming forward, I just want to thank everyone who made this service possible, especially our beloved Pat Clark and Mike on the keyboard. Yay, thank you guys. And our assistants today, Melissa, Adam, Janie Curry, our practitioner of the day, Craig, who came early to help set up the place, our coordinator for the day, and each one of you. Thank you for being here. So and our ushers, oh my gosh, thank you ushers too. Yeah, you guys deserve it. And I'm going to say thank you to Bonnie, who's showing up early and setting up and greeting us. And she's doing that now, all month and beyond. So, you know, it is your giving that creates the opportunity for us to share this philosophy with the world. It is your gifts that help us sustain what we're doing here and even grow beyond that. And that energy of your giving is drawing people here who are hungry for it, gives us the opportunity to do classes and workshops and all the wonderful things. And you'll hear all the announcements of the good works we have going on. So let's just take a moment to be grateful for that. I'm going to bless your offering. So if you have something to give today, you've already given online. If you're watching us online, you can go to our website and hit the donate button and send off your generous offering. So let's just take a moment to bless these gifts, knowing that this is a gift from God, that we are in that channel of giving and receiving, that as we give, prosperity and abundance flow right back to us, that we are bringing the light and love to all who are searching for what we offer. I know that as we give, it is returned to us multiplied, pressed down, overflowing. It is so blessed, and so are we, and so it is. So it is. Can you join me in the affirmation on the screen? Divine
love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.
So we have lots of things going on. Yes, I know. First of all, I want to say, Cecilia, thank you very much. Cecilia mentioned that we could be celebrating birthdays every month. We haven't been doing that, and we could. So this isn't the first Sunday of the month, but let's just celebrate birthdays for October. Can you play Happy Birthday by your chance? Can you sing Happy Birthday?
We can all sing that.
We can all sing that. Okay, so who has an October birthday? Stand up if you like. Oh, no, one here. Let's go. All right, look at you. Happy birthday, October birthdays. And all you online too. Ready?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, we love you. Happy birthday to you.
So lots of wonderful things going on here at Center for Spiritual Living, Temecula Valley. We're excited about the new certificated foundational class that I'm going to start calling Charlene, soon to be Rev Charlene. How's that? Is that right? The soon to be Reverend Charlene and I are going to be facilitating that. It is right here in the community room starting Tuesday night. It's only 5 weeks. And in those 5 weeks, first of all, it's called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. I think we've heard that before. But in those 5 weeks, we actually cover relationships, health, and finances, abundance. It's $45 to register, and then we'll be taking a weekly love offering. We want to make it easy for everyone to come to this class. So sign up at the activities table. We will send you a link to register officially online if you sign up now. And we are making manuals. We get a hold of, like, you get one of these books if you're taking the classes, so we want to know how many to make. So sign up, please, if you're going to take that. And if you're online and you'd like to take the class, you need to come here, though it's not online. Just call the office and let us know. We'll get you set up. So let's see, we have our book study. It meets on Wednesdays on Zoom. The book they're doing right now is Happy for No Reason with Marcy Shima, and that is facilitated by Ann Woodward, who's with us today, our fabulous practitioner. She also does the Gifts of Spirit group. Oh, it's backwards on here. I better do the thing that's next on there. So we're excited that on the 23rd of October, just 2 weeks from today, we're going to be having an ice cream social with lots of ice cream and toppings. And also Braver Angels will be here. Braver Angels is about communicating and bridging the gap in the differences that may divide us, and understanding and hearing each other. So they're going to just facilitate a way to communicate with each other. And I think it'll be fun. It's a little bit like listening as an act of love. It won't be too long. I think max an hour and a half after church that Sunday. Let's see, and then now to the book study. So, no, I did it. Now to the Gifts of Spirit group. I know what I'm doing. So, and that it is this Monday. They gather in Ann Woodward's home and they share whatever they're working on in a creative way. And they support each other. So come share, celebrate your gifts, contact Ann again. The Sisters in Spirit group meets the third Thursday of the month for breakfast at Pachanga's at the restaurant, Journey's Restaurant. And all men are invited to join the men's ministry.
We've been to that restaurant.
And for fellowship and support, they're meeting this Wednesday, because it's the second Wednesday at the restaurant, at Journey's Restaurant in Pachanga. Also, Reverend Michael told me that they're changing the time for the evening meeting to 7 p.m. He's been doing it at 6, a Zoom call for those who work during the day. You want to say something, Michael?
Yeah, we have not had any activity at 6, so I figured that maybe at 7 would be a better time, for the guys to finish eating and then come in and have some fellowship and sharing.
So the Zoom link is on our newsletter, so you can get on that call at 7 p.m. though. Even though the newsletter this week said 6, we're changing it. So if you're interested, if you're a man, I want to go, but
Some of the younger fellows involved in this.
right. It's a great opportunity for everybody. Yeah.
It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michael. Let's see, today we're having some light refreshments in the social hall. Not a full-on meal because the board is having a board retreat afterwards. So come to our social hall, grab a bite to eat, connect with your friends, and then we're going to go off in a corner and start to do our board retreat. I'd like to invite the practitioners to come up to the stage now. And today we're going to be singing Let There Be Peace on Earth again because our wonderful singer requested that instead of I Place I Go. So we're going to end with that. If there's anything going on in your life you would like to have shift to change, if you want to get the vision of what's your greater yet to become, see one of them. Some of them are available right after service, after the chairs you see in the breezeway.
I would like to say something, and I don't ever usually do this. Your talk was wonderful. Yeah. The Nobel Peace Prize. Oh, because I just heard that Caltech said because these three men did this study on string theory, that quantum physics is no longer a theory, it is a fact.
We're in line with that. Thank you so much. All right. So thank you for your service, beloved practitioners. You're amazing. And they're available to you. Anything going on? See one of them. Okay, let's all join in singing the peace song. Let there be peace on earth.
Meant to be, with God as Creator.
happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It is this thing called abundance.
It is this thing called abundance.
Abundance is in my mind.
Abundance is in my mind.
Abundance is in my heart.
Abundance is in my heart.
Abundance is in all that I do.
Abundance is in all that I do.
And life is great.
And life is